I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the last piece of pizza in the justice bird box that will destroy your arteries. I am Lazy Universe. Wait, I have a feeling that those two things are not in common. I am Batman? Hello everyone, I'm Lazy Universe, and this is not a Lazy Cinema episode, but instead a top 10. I actually didn't have anything planned for today. I didn't have nothing important or different scheduled. So I decided, yeah, you know what? Let's do a top 10. That sounds fun. So this is going to be my top 10 favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes. Now I know that a lot of people have done these before, but just remember that this is just my list and this is just my opinion. And I haven't done a top 10 in a really, really, really long time. So just bear with me and just go with the flow as I do. And I'm going to do my best to explain these episodes and why they're my favorite, as little to no spoilers as I can. So with that being said, let's begin the Batman phenomenon. And also I kind of want to do this because Batman is becoming more popular, especially with Batman Gotham Knights that is coming out pretty soon, especially the movie with the sequel that had been announced already. So I really want to kind of just jump on the bandwagon, and also I kind of want to talk about some cartoons and some Batman. So let's get to it. This is my top 10 favorite Batman episodes. Number 10, Mad Love. I've always had a soft spot for Harley Quinn, but even more so than interesting in the character herself is the backstory that they gave her. Haven't you ever really wondered what made Harley and why she loved the Joker so much? Well, this episode was the answer. First things first, after a failed attempt to try to capture Batman, Joker is not too happy with Harley. Instead, he's trying to figure out how to get the Batman trapped, and of course Harley is just in the way, and she's not really helping. Feeling defeated, she remembers her old backstory when she used to work for Arkham as a therapist, and gets assigned to the one person nobody ever wants to be assigned to, the Joker. At first, it's an usual patient and doctor kind of syndrome going on, Joker just trying to talk to Harley got to Joker, and they kind of hit it off very quickly. That is, until she gets to know a more darker, more softer tone of Joker that he never shown before, but it turns out it was nothing but a joke. Messing up Harley to the point where she believes that she loves the Joker, and thus becomes his hench girl. If you never saw Mad Love before, I would recommend it, and I would recommend also giving it a shot. It's a great story that introduces us to Harley and also what makes Harley Quinn so famous. Number 9, Birds of a Feather. I've always loved the Penguin. I always found myself interested in this character, even when I first saw Batman Returns, but I've also felt for the poor guy too, and this episode is why. Penguin has had a long life of crime and a long history, to the point where Batman and him are getting sick of going round and round with each other, and he's finally put in Arkham. But Cobblepot sees an opportunity to try and turn himself into, well, more or less, a normal average citizen of Gotham. But word reaches two people, especially a woman named Miranda, who believes that she can use Penguin for some gossipy news and transform him into someone that she could use. But at first, for poor Penguin, he believes that this is all for love and not for tricks, so Penguin goes along with it, but Miranda is disgusted by the great Penguin. Until Penguin ends up saving her life in the weirdest way possible by fighting off some street gangs for her. Penguin falls so much in love that in fact he wants to ask Miranda to marry him, that she thinks that fondly of her and he wants her to be his wife. That is, until he finds out that Miranda and her partner are ending up screwing Penguin over, and he gets immediately pissed off. It's a great episode that signifies how deep a person can be touched, and also what lengths someone will go to hurt someone else in the process. What else can I say but give Birds of Feather a chance in the feather?
Get
Number 8. Lockup. Think Arkham is a bad place? Well, wait until you meet this guy. A guard is accused of abusing and misusing his powers against the Arkham inmate, so he's taken to court to try and see what they can do and see if he's telling the truth. First, the prisoners lie before they all admit that they are terrified of this dude and that he should not be working at Arkham. So he's ended up fired, and he caught at a cost. He loses his job and swears that he'll have his revenge. Then 6 months after the event, a new guy showed up who calls himself Lockup, who tries to go after the Arkham inmates he once abused. This is just a great episode, not only to signify how bad that abuse can be or that abuse can happen within prisons, but also the consequences of working for just the wrong person and being at the wrong place at the wrong time. If you can, I highly recommend checking out Lockup.
You don't know what he's doing to us. Shut up. Don't listen to Jerkface here. He don't know what he's saying.
No, it's all true. If we don't speak up now, we'll never get another chance. Hit the
Number 7. Almost got him. Think Batman is too violent? Well, how about a nice card game for everybody to enjoy? This episode is nothing more than a bunch of Batman's famous adversaries going up and playing card games with one another. That should be it, but there's more than that. They all have a story to tell, and they decide, well, how about we tell the story of who really almost got him? This is really a fun, creative, and just downright silly episode, but for the series at the time, damn if it doesn't work, because this episode is just great. It's funny, it's charming, it got some wicked good moments, and including one of my favorite lines from Killer Croc.
Was a big rock.
Number 6. Mad as a Hatter. I've always had a soft spot for the Mad Hatter, aka Jervis Tech, and this episode is a great reason why. Jervis Tech is a brilliant scientist, a weird man, but a brilliant scientist nonetheless. He has a partner named Alice who he is sort of in love with. Opportunity comes to him when Alice and her boyfriend breaks up, so he gets madly excited and decides I should be able to take her out on a date now. So he not only dresses up like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, but he decides to use some tricks up his sleeves to give her the best night of her life, by using mind control. But things are made worse when Jervis realizes that Alice and her boyfriend are going to be married. But does this make Jervis happy? Nope, he gets incredibly pissed off. He not only seeks revenge upon Batman himself, but he decides to go after Alice and her entire family. Mad as a Hatter is just a great, fun, and silly episode, but damn it if it worked for the Mad Hatter, who I love as a Batman villain. And plus, hearing the voice of Roddy McDowell come out of Mad Hatter is something to be amazed and experience, so I recommend getting Mad as a Hatter.
A soulless little doll. It didn't have to be this way. You made me do this to her.
Number 5. The Man Who Killed Batman. Ever wonder what would happen if the mysterious Batman ended up dead? Well, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm did, and this episode is amazing. A small-time crook named Sid ends up accidentally killing the Batman, much to his surprise, so he becomes a big major crime boss. But how it happened is the most amazing part. Before Sid became a big-time criminal, he was just a small-time crook trying to figure out how he can become a criminal mastermind of the underworld until he's met by the great Batman. And Batman tangled for a bit before he accidentally, while Batman trying to save him, throws Batman off the building and kills the Dark Knight detective. So Sid is crowned King Criminal of Gotham for killing the Batman, and all the criminals are happy. Well, except for Joker, I must add. Joker's upset that Sid killed his favorite plaything, and he's not very happy about it. Even where Joker should be happy that Batman is dead, he's instead very depressed, upset, and sad that Batman is forever gone. Coming to terms with it, he throws a fake funeral for the Dark Knight himself, and also a real funeral for Sid there. But as it turns out, Batman planned the whole thing and was watching Sid the entire time to find out who planned the hit on him. This is just a creative and fun and really good episode written by Paul Dini himself, and if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's fun, it's great, and it got some great voice talents.
For the passing of one man, but for the death of a dream. The dream that he would someday taste the ultimate victory over his hated enemy.
Number 4. Read My Lips. I've always loved the ventriloquist in Scarface, and this episode introduction is a great reason to why you should love them too. A bunch of crooks are gaining the upper hand upon Batman and the police, and Batman and the police want to figure out who it is and why he's doing this. But to Batman's amazement, it's a man with a puppet who has his own gang and is deciding to hit everybody in Gotham to steal money and take what's his. Batman goes to confront Arnold, but it turns out he's not actually as guilty as Batman thinks he is. He's a polite man, he's nice, well-mannered, and so would he really be Scarface? Sad truth is yes, when Batman finds out that both he and Scarface share the same voice, thus making it a multiple personality disorder, which even surprises Alfred. Doesn't know who's in charge, himself or the puppet, making him very terrifying and a very good adversary for Batman. If you want to see a great episode with a fantastic, not well-known villain, but in my opinion just a fun one, I recommend watching Read My Lips. It's great, amazingly written, and with some stellar voice talents, including one voice actor voicing Albert and Scarface.
Comes up against Scarface, he's just another dummy. It was a trap, Bats, start to finish. And you fell for it like a world-class sucker. The dummy here spilled the beans you'd been in his room.
Number 3. Joker's Millions. Joker and Batman had tangled for years now, but would you ever expect that Joker is a man with not a lot of money on his hands? In Joker's Millions, Joker and Harley seem to be going through some hard times and seem to be having some financial troubles, even to the point where they can afford the nice things that they used to have anymore. That is until Face follows his hands into Joker with someone who's dying, an old crime partner, who lands him off $250 million. Joker takes this as a way to really heal himself and make himself all the more better with everybody to kick Batman off of his tail. But for the Crown Prince of Crime, Batman is not easily convinced. But as Nightwing and Barbara find out, Joker is actually telling the truth, and, well, while they don't believe him, they had to accept that he is a citizen, just as he promised. Joker eventually finds out he owes the IRS, and he owes them a lot of money, so he plans to pay it all back. But all the bills are fake. When he's handed the VHS tape, the man that left him all the money said that it was the last laugh and the last joke that he wanted to play on Joker. If you haven't seen Joker's Millions yet, it's a fun, really good, and creative episode that really shows a more different side of Joker. Maybe he didn't want to be good deep down inside, but really can't because nobody believes him. And it's kind of harsh. Also, would Joker ever tangle with the IRS?
Enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
Number 2. Heart of Ice. Everyone and anyone had talked about this episode for how great it is, especially as an origin to Mr. Freeze, and, well, I gotta admit, it's one of my favorites. A new criminal in Gotham, named Mr. Freeze, decided to take crime on his own hand, and he's trying to steal a lot of money, but Batman won't allow him. Batman soon finds out the criminal is as heartless as he is cold, much to Batman's confusion to why he would be this kind of condescending and cold person. But it turns out that one of Bruce Wayne's partner, named Boyle, is behind everything, and he's the reason that Freeze is going around causing crime. also when Batman realizes why Mr. Freeze is going after crime itself is a more very well and well thought out reason. If you haven't seen Heart of Ice before, I highly recommend it. It's a great written episode with some fantastic voice acting, and it's one of the best episodes, if not the greatest episode of all. But one still triumphs as my favorite.
Summer's day with a hot wind in your face and a warm hand to hold. Oh, yes, I'd kill for that.
And at number 1, Baby Doll. This is a really creative and really fun episode with a villain that you would not ever see coming. An old actress who has a condition that doesn't make her age a day wants revenge over her show being cancelled so many years ago. Even gets herself some henchmen that look like the Skipper and also Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. So I guess time on the island really got to them then, huh? But why I love Baby Doll so much is pretty much answered in this episode. She's not someone that wants to see the world burn. She doesn't want millions of dollars. She doesn't want anything special except just her show back and also a family that loves and respects her. And with words, she'll do everything and anything in her power just to get back the life that she always wanted. If you really haven't seen Baby Doll, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a great episode that introduces a villain that should have been used more because, well, she's such a great written villain with a lot of fun behind her and a lot of heart, too. You could really tell that Paul Dini was having some fun when he wrote this episode. What else can I say but it's a classic, and it's also had one of the best moments in Batman animated history.
Everything else. Why couldn't you just let me make believe?
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my top 10 favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you agree with any of my choices or not, and let me know what your favorite episode is in the series. I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if I will ever do one of these again, truthfully be told, but we'll see in the future. No promises, I'm just saying. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, just enjoy some Batman and enjoy some cartoons. And I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.